Hello everybody and welcome to today's new style of video. Today we are doing an album reaction. We've done album reviews, we've done song reactions, single song reactions, but for the first time ever we're doing a full album reaction due to popular demand. No, not really. No one's asked for it. Not a single person, to be honest.
Due to popular demand we haven't heard of yet.
Yeah. So let's have a look at the request. So 12 original songs on Dan's official band album, Fearless, which is what we're going to be reacting to today. A full album. So if you've got a spare, I don't know, 1.5 hours available, then you're in the right place. Okay, so let's have a look at, well, let's get going. Let's not waste any more time, otherwise we'll be here forever. So here it is. It's a 50-minute album. It's that man, Dan Vasc, and his band, and we are going to get on with it. So I think we're all ready to go. Brett, tell me if you can hear once. Just give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Let's go.
They found it. The legend was true after all. The young adventurers didn't know what to expect when they left in search for the Chronicles of Ancient Wisdom. A myth considered by most just a fool's tale. Driven by a desperate urge for freedom, they fought their way into the sacred ruins, hoping to find the key to defeat their enemies. The Dark Ones, as the Elders called them. These are the visions of Andrew in the centuries after mankind's exile. And the last moments of my slumber.
Oh, well, it's like a sort of epic story, I guess we got going on here. Like a good intro. I mean, that's really what you want from an intro, isn't it? I suppose.
The absolute definition, wasn't it? Really, yeah.
Got anything else to add?
Oh, I thought you were going to go more. No, yeah, it's got me pumped up, ready for the album. It's a shame it's like a really hot, sunny day here. I felt like there was a lot darker, a bit wintry. That would really get me sort of in the mood for that there. But yeah, what an opening to the album. So let's see what it brings on.
Let's go for it.
Because the evil one has come down to you with great wrath, having the knowledge that he has but a short time. To slay the dragon and save our doomed souls, heaven has sent a hero. His brave deeds will change this world and the other forever.
Right, so yeah, I think I'll go first then. Yeah, that's like real metal, I guess. Like I think up to this point when we've been reacting to Dan Vasc, most of them have been covers, if not all of them actually. I think they've all been covers we've done. Like the metal songs have been, I suppose we could call it metal for beginners. For people like us, right, that don't, not really into our metal so much, but it's always just kind of spices up the songs, right? But with this is like metal for metal lovers. Probably not designed for people like us that are not really into this sort of music. So there's nothing wrong with it if you like that kind of stuff, but I personally don't. So I think it's going to be a bit of a rough ride for me, this album.
They've been got a long way ahead. Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah, listen, I can't. I do totally get everything you're getting off now. Maybe I could be a bit more tolerable to this music rather than yourself. I did find my toes tap a little bit with that there. I think it's quite hard to have a long song as that second one after that sort of intro as well. I had my pen and paper to my notes, but it really wasn't much different. So we obviously had a little talking bit, like the narrator, we'll call him for the time being, in the middle, which again kept the sort of theme of what we've been going on so far already. Otherwise, yeah, it's a metal song for metal fans, I guess.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. See if anything changes as the album goes on. Maybe we'll have some slower songs. Who knows? There could be some variety here. Okay, so Brett, do you want to go through that one first? Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, sure. So I so straight off, I do prefer this one to the previous track we just had. Don't know, just had a bit more of a be more sort of something to it there. I'm really sort of getting this kind of sort of I don't know what sort of period of time, but definitely olden days. Maybe as we go through, I might get more of an idea what it is. But almost like, you know, a group of men into battle, picking up the really sort of history kind of feel to it. What I will say at early doors on this one here, it's really because obviously we've got this because of Dan Vasc. I feel like I want to hear. Obviously, Dan Vasc is definitely the main lead singer on this, but I feel I can't hear him as well through with this, and I feel for me personally it feels a little bit wasted because we know what a great voice he's had. Not he's singing badly in this, just feel if the music was toned down a tiny bit, we could just hear a bit more emphasis on the singing voice. That would be my only what I'll be saying this early stage on the album.
Yeah, I think this is medieval metal. I think I've read before that he's into his sort of medieval kind of genre time period, and yeah, so it feels very historic. I think with the album here we can see it's all about like kings and behold my land. Yeah, kind of like the War of Ages. You know, you can see it's kind of about fighting for territory, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really didn't really enjoy that song, to be honest. It's just not really my cup of tea. But yeah, I don't think the next song, Till My Death, is going to be any better, to be honest, for me. But you never know. Surprises could happen. Let's crack on.
This letter I write. The cities in ashes that fill the streets. Don't know where to send this. Are you even alive? When they took you, I should have let them capture me too, so I could be with you. Oh my love, I wish I could hold you tonight. I can do nothing but you pray. Ocean of tears sailing through dark red. You'll be in my heart till my shelter in Pharaoh's land. The oracle crying had warned them again. I know my decision may cost my own life. I'll meet with the enemy. I'll find you.
Okay, so for me, that was much better. I much preferred that. It was still very much a heavy metal song, like very much a heavy metal genre, no question about that, but just a slow type of heavy metal song, or this medieval metal, whatever it's called. Obviously, it did sort of raise up and get, develop, but that was more like towards a chorus. It was quite a nice song. There were parts of that I actually quite liked, maybe parts that I wasn't as keen on. At parts it kind of felt a little bit kind of like Irish, kind of Celtic, had a little feel to it, that kind of vibe I was getting. So that was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. It was, a pleasant surprise. So if we can get a few more songs like that, then this could still be an all right album for me. What about you? How did you find it?
Yeah, like you, standout track so far. I think the word epic comes to that there. Felt like I had everything in that one. It felt like a whole almost movie within that sort of just one song. What I really liked, what I said right from the previous tracks, is that you couldn't hear Dan Vasc singing as much. This one, obviously, it was a bit clearer. Got to really hear that note right at the end. Fantastic. It kind of feels like, for me, when I've done albums, like this sort of track would sort of be a really good epic ending track of an album. So it's surprised to have it sort of early on. And yeah, when you said before, when I was saying about the history and older day, medieval is definitely the vibe. Definitely going through this one here. So yeah, it continues so far in the song, and let's see if there are, as you said, some other unexpected surprises in this album.
Yeah, I think as well, maybe with what you're saying there about this could be an ending track. I think this might be like telling a story, even though I can't understand any of it, but it could be actual story as it goes on. I think that's often the way of these types of albums, this genre. But anyway, let's.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Especially with the narrator as well, right? The narrator sort of telling the story how it is, and So there's definitely some logic to it, but yeah, I'm not clever enough or to
It's a
understand.
shame it's not actually if it's actually if because I know a lot of these ones that we've done with Sabatano did, you know, so but theirs wasn't sort of in a timeline, but it'd be interesting to know if this is on a real event and if there's a real timeline that goes with it.
Spotify Premium sounds like ad-free music listening to your ears. Better get it while you can, though. It's your last chance to get 3 months free and cancel anytime. Tap the banner to learn more.
soon guide me home. Carry
Margaret, you can go first with this one.
Yeah, cheers, Lee. Apologies in advance if you hear my dog barking in the background. Listen, I know you put your thumbs down on right, or your sad face early doors in that one. It's hard to explain, but actually, if I was, it's sort of it takes away from the song really, but I was sort of listening more in sort of like the backgrounds and not sort of the front part of the music with like the really heavy guitar and drumming happening. But when I put that aside, quite difficultly, I really enjoyed the sort of the singing and the tune of that one actually, and found myself quite enjoying that. So, but I can see how the sort of main part of that, yeah, a bit intense. And obviously we had a little bit sort of towards the middle ends where it really slowed down. So I wasn't going to put my reaction bit to that, but I kind of just missed out on that. Yeah, despite the heavy guitar work and drums that overpower the song, behind that, I actually quite enjoyed parts of that.
Yeah, I understand what you mean there.
Good, thank God.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is no worse than the first. Well, it's track 2 and track 3. But was it any better? Not so sure. Probably not. Yeah, there was that kind of nicer bit towards the end where it slowed down. But yeah, it was pretty intense. Very kind of metal style of music. But I've heard worse. If that's any. Yeah, I've heard worse, I think, in my time, but I can't say I'm enjoying it. Like I said, the previous track was a nice surprise. Hoping for some slower tracks as we go on, and hopefully there will be. I should imagine there probably will be as the story develops. Let's see.
My heart open, that I see your suffering. Incline thine ear to the prayer of the King. Send my King this kind of to speak to the messenger. Let me twist around the cities.
Right, well, I enjoyed that one more, and I'm not going to lie, it was because of the lie la la lie la la lie bit. That for sure. That definitely was the moment that, you know, grabbed my attention. I was like, you know what, this song's all right. Because I think after that moment, I just sort of got into my groove. I was sort of jigging along to it, and I needed that. I needed something just to sort of grab my attention, and it did that. So yeah, the first part of the song up to that lie la la lie bit was all right. Wasn't too bad. Probably better than a lot of the others we've had so far. But that moment, from that moment on, I was like, yes, this is all right. What about you? How did you find it?
Yeah, so I feel like you've got to find, if it's not your cup of tea, find the little things you can take from it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long ride for you there for your lead. But yeah, definitely. I wrote here, obviously, like the sort of sailor. I think the term's like a shanty, not a shanty, sing it there, a shanty song that sailors would sing together as a group for Royal stuff. And yeah, I quite enjoyed that. And so that keeps that keeping of that sort of historical theme that we're having going on. And yeah, at least it brought something different to it. Could it be the experimental track of the album? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think as well, when that bit came on, it again, my association for some reason is Ireland. It just felt a bit quite Irish.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Far away, the king joins the grave. March on, look away. On his death today. In the harvest moon, remember his tomb.
Brett, you tell us about that one then.
Yeah, something a bit different again, really. Again, getting this really sort of historic, almost Viking feeling of, you know, people going into war and stuff. But yeah, I really like that. It's sort of like a really, what's the word, like a heavy, like big, hard man sort of song, but really sung in a almost soft, emotional way. Especially we got like, yeah, I don't know, has that sort of real contrasting elements to that one there. And then there was a little bit of like the flutes sort of playing, and now it's like sort of really going back and knowing that the end's going to be a not so good one potentially. But yeah, I quite like that actually. I think fits in quite well. So let's change the album up a little bit, given this story and this context as we're having all the way through. But yeah, it could probably be my second favourite after Till My Death, I would say.
Yeah, that was a very different kind of song, as you said there. And yeah, I very much had the thought in my head, like them preparing for battle, sort of, I don't know, marching up or ready to go to battle for sure. Yeah, just a completely different type of song. If anything, it was maybe lacking a little. Maybe it just needed to go up a little notch or something. But I'm kind of glad at the same time it didn't, I guess, because it's just that type of song where it's different style. A song that fits in with a storyline, because we don't forget we're very much focusing on a storyline here. So we're at this part of the story where, I don't know, they're about to go to battle, or at least that's what it seems like to us. So yeah, a welcome change from how a lot of the songs have been so far. Obviously, Till, what was it called? About death. I can't remember the track.
Yeah,
Till My Death was also quite different as well. So yeah, I think there's still could be a few more interesting ones as we go on. I think I'd say at this stage, right, we're 7 songs through out of, well, 7 tracks out of 12. And even though I've said this isn't really my type of music, I'm still quite intrigued to what's to follow. I think after that first track, well, I said the first track, the second track, I was like, oh god, like what is this? I don't want to listen to like just a whole album of this sort of music. But to be fair, there has been variety. And because of that, like I say, I'm still quite intrigued and quite interested in listening to the rest of this album. It's not like, oh, we've got 5 tracks left, please turn it off, I don't want to listen to this. It's not like that at all, to be fair. So let's crack on.
I
Yeah, I mean, not one of my favourites, this one. It was a bit sort of just after halfway where the instrumentals were quite clever, interesting, where there was a different kind of change up going on with the instrumentals are quite like that. I mean, still overall for a heavy metal song, wasn't too bad for me. It was manageable. I think when I think back to like the second track, which was the first main song, or the first song really, that's where I heard some almost not growling. It wasn't growling, but it was some kind of like more kind of shouty style of singing in parts. Whereas this one didn't have that. It was normal, kind of quite loud, obviously, singing. Yeah, it was very intense, but yeah, like I say, it was manageable, bearable, but just not my favourite, not one of my favourites on the album for sure.
Yeah, so this reminds me of what was the track I was talking about before, Tale of No End, where I said sort of drowned out the sort of really heavy metal bit part and was concentrating more on the sort of the background sort of music and singing. And again, when I did that again, I really got into it and really enjoyed it. I just felt, just you said there, we've said it before, a bit intense with the sort of main guitar and drums, sort of just drowns it out that a little bit. So yeah, for me, very similar to Tale with No End, but I've definitely got the feeling of this. If we're going with the story, we've had sort of the lead up to battle. This track felt more like it could have been in battle. So you kind of want that sort of heavy metal kind of to get you through that sort of fighting element, I would say.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to number 10, Wisdom Calls. Hopefully, wisdom is where you sort of calm down a bit, about the battle's over, and I'm hoping that's going to be a bit of a slower one. Let's see.
I thought you were going to say track 12 there for a second.
Track 12, hopefully it's the narrator. We haven't heard from the narrator for a while, have we?
No, he's having a bit of a tea break, I think.
Yeah.
What happened? All these visions in my head.
Greetings, son of man.
Who are you?
I am the guardian spirit of understanding. Watcher of this sacred place, and keeper of the greatest power. I am destiny. What do you seek?
I stare into the eyes of death to come here. The urge of my quest is heavier than fear. Clouded by a myth, a hope became bright to rid my own kind from the grim claws of night.
So young and yet so brave, your dear ones you're able to save. And honor I see brought you here. Speak to me. How little let me see secrets of time.
Drawn away to free the man, the strength and power to fight. The sons of the light.
Did you say it made you believe a power so great you had to achieve? Now the dark ones, yet so full of rage, will fall at the dawn of this golden age. Here it is.
Right before my eyes.
You have found it.
Finally.
Speak to me. Knowledge alone. Let strength and power to rise.
Right, Brett, take us through that one then.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to begin and end for this one here. I really enjoyed that one. Maybe because I like my musicals and theatre stuff. It kind of felt like it had those sort of elements to it there. So almost this sort of Dan Vasc character singing with this guardian. What was it? Guardian for the Understanding or something? Sort of older guy with a deeper voice there, and yeah, it just feels like sort of Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, different styles, and that sort of again that medieval. I was playing with sort of like the old-fashioned like medieval instruments, sort of playing around with that one there. Yeah, something totally different from the rest of we've been having there, and it just carries on with this sort of story from here. So obviously we know things about these. The way to send the style wasn't like Chronicles of like search for the ancient wisdom kind of thing, and it's like got to the pinnacle where it's looking like he's found it. Again, I'm going to use Dan Vasc as the main lead for this. So yeah, so like you were saying earlier, even though some of the music hasn't been your cup of tea, you kind of sort of attached now, sort of brought into this made up story that we've made up for this thing, and this track sort of helps with that one there. So yeah, big thumbs up and big applaud for me at the end by that one.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I think you just touched on it there. What I was saying at the end of track 7, like I'm still quite intrigued by the album because you don't know what you're going to get. And this was one of those tracks, right? So track 8, the previous track, yeah, was just kind of, okay, that typical kind of style of the album, the heavy metal. Whereas this one, it's more, you kind of, yeah, more of this story and this completely different type of song. So yeah, I enjoy this one as well. I like that the older guy, that the deep voice as well, and yeah, just a different type of song, which I think is really needed on this album. A little bit of variety, so it's not just like track 2. I keep referring to it, but track 2 was the sort of the starting point, right? And I was like, oh my, what is this? But yeah, it hasn't been like that, to be fair. It hasn't just been like loads of track 2s everywhere. Yeah, there's been some, but there's been plenty of others that have broken that up and have, completely changed the dynamics of the album. So it looks like we've got 2 like long tracks now, followed by a little ending. Let's see what this is like then. Wisdom Calls. This is the one I was hoping was going to be a slower one, but I don't know. We've just had a slower kind of one.
Yeah.
So this,
I think you might have jinxed it. It might probably be the opposite now.
Yeah, probably.
the hilltop, she says, near the crossroad.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Um, maybe even the worst one so far, possibly. I think it was such a long track as well, and I think for a long track, it could have done with a bit of a change up. You know, I think we had it on previous ones where, yeah, it's all intense and very metal, but then there's a parts maybe where it slows down and there's a little voice, you know, slower, softer voice comes on or a softer part of singing. But this one, we didn't really have that. There was a long instrumental part, but the singing throughout was pretty loud and intense. I didn't like the singing style in this one. It was more shouty. So yeah, nothing really for me to like in this particular song, unfortunately. What about you?
I apologise for my dog. She might not bark, but she might. I'm here gnawing at a bone at the moment. Yeah, listen, I know I was sort of nodding away and felt my toes were sort of tapping with this one. Again, it felt like there was a lot going on, and I think there was tiny bits of variation, but not enough to be sort of enjoyable in parts. Yeah, and maybe again towards more the end of the album, because it being such a long track, I agree that it kind of needed something totally different to sort of just maybe for us personally, probably just to break it up a bit before carrying on really. But otherwise, yeah, it was quite intense with the singing and the instrument playing. And normally I say I'll try and listen a bit more into the background kind of thing, but even I struggled to get anything out of that one there. I think there was tiny bits of potential in parts, but just not enough, and not way through there. So I might have to agree with you and think, yeah, this could be one of the weaker ones, not one of the worst ones for me on the album so far.
Okay, well, let's move on to the last proper track, long track, which is Jericho. take us through that one then.
Yeah, wow. First thing I put here is about, this felt like it was on fast forward. It felt a lot faster than the other ones I found. Again, with like I've done with a couple other tracks, if I tore away down some of the intense parts and sort of concentrate on the backing kind of stuff, again, I found quite a bit of enjoyment from that one there. And I would say actually even the start, I did find the guitar and the drum work, I probably wasn't as intense. I feel like the singing was a lot more prominent at the start. It then changed as we get towards the end of the song. It feels like, because I know it's the end of the album, like we're thinking of the story, like this could be like the final battle. If this is the big battle, this is kind of feels like giving it everything you've got in that one there. There was some really good guitar work I felt in that one there, and even though I'm not a musician, I felt like I could appreciate, how quick and how good sort of the guitar playing was with that one there. Yes, there was a lot of intenseness to it. Yes, there was most that I probably didn't enjoy, but again, I could break away and probably get some elements of that I did quite enjoy. And I did think the singing was quite good. I felt maybe just need a little bit more of that with Dan Vasc in the singing.
Yes, this might surprise you, but I actually quite enjoyed this one. I was trying to pick up on the lyrics. Yeah, talks about, I think I heard him say something like, we're coming towards the end, somewhere along those lines he said. Obviously, this is like the last proper song of the album. He talks about victory as well at the end there. And parts of it, I quite like the bit when it goes, we're marching on our way to Jericho. That sort of part to it as well. So Jericho is a Palestinian city in the West Bank. So I don't know if he's referring to that place, that particular city. She may very well be, because I believe it's the oldest city in the world. So yeah, that was quite interesting. And yeah, that one kind of grabbed my attention more. I preferred the style of that, even though it's still very not my cup of tea genre-wise, but that one was all right, that one. So let's move on to the final track. It's only 30 odd seconds long. A new chapter unfolds.
Switch up your flow wherever life takes you without missing a beat. Just download and go with Spotify Premium. Get 3 free months of Premium before it ends and cancel anytime. Tap the banner to learn more.
That advertisement's almost the same length as the track we're about to listen.
I'm glad you thought, I was going to say exactly this. At first I was going to say, do you not fancy getting Spotify Premium? And that is probably going to be as long as the last track.
As this new chapter unfolds, many questions remain unanswered. Even though they were overjoyed by the success of their quest so far, the perils of the journey left them broken, devastated. But they must carry on their quest. And I know they will.
Yeah, I quite like that. I mean, the narrator made it very clear that they've succeeded thus far. They want to continue, so I thought it was well explained. There's nothing really much more for me to say on that. Yeah, a nice ending from the narrator. What about you? How did you find it?
Yeah, lovely little ending there. A sort of, cinema kind of to be continued, with the difference being made it very clear that it sounds like there is a follow-up to that. So if anyone does know if there is a follow-up to that, it'd be interesting to know if that, because that's what it's sort of alluded to in the words there. And the big question I want to ask, do we think that's Dan Vasc voicing as the narrator, putting a voice on, or do you think it'd be someone different? So I feel like I can imagine, because we've heard Dan Vasc sing various different types of genres of songs and different styles. I wouldn't be surprised, and I think he loves his theatrical kind of elements. I wouldn't be surprised if he's him putting a voice on and playing the part of the narrator in this.
Here's the thing, right? I thought the narrator was the guy in one of those tracks. They said the old guy came in. I thought that. See, to me, that kind of sounds like the narrator.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was holding about that. Potentially, it could be the same guy who's doing the sort of the older voices in some of those tracks. But yeah, I don't know. Again, if anyone knows, it'd be quite interesting to know. But as I said, yeah, nice way to end the album. And I said sort of this whole sort of story. And if you said this is cool, so I'm coming into the sum up, you know, even though I'm sure you agree, parts of it probably didn't enjoy as much. It was this sort of whole epic story which helped me to sort of enjoy the album that a little bit more.
Yeah, so if I'm summing up, not my type of music, but I still like the fact there was something that kept me interested the whole way through, because I knew there was different types of tracks, the story changing up. So I really appreciated that. If it had just been hardcore metal song by song, I was like, oh, this is awful. But it wasn't like that. So yeah, there were definitely elements there for me to enjoy. I like the whole kind of storyline behind it. So yeah, it was interesting to see what Dan Vasc's band is like. As I said at the beginning, I think this is like the people who are really into that type of music, whereas with the individual reactions that we've done of these pop songs, that's more universal, I would say. So yeah, an interesting one for sure. Would I be rushing to listen to the follow-up album of this if there is one in the future? No, I wouldn't, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind listening to it, I suppose. So if someone requested it.
Yeah, and I say it'd be good to then, you know, if we got more of the backstory of if it's just a made up story, or if there is some general historic elements to it, because I think that would make it quite interesting as well, really. Yeah,
well, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel, you can donate to us directly via YouTube or via coffee.com. Link is in the description. Thank you for watching. If you have any requests for other albums for us to react to, just let us know. Take care. Goodbye.